Do you stocking up on supplies like we're prepping for a zombie apocalypse? Retailers are warning about more grocery and household supply shortages. Remember those empty shelves we saw during the early days? Yeah, we might see those again. Being prepared is key. By taking action now, we can ensure we have what we need. So, before you dive into that pumpkin spice latte, join me as we unpack these potential shortages. All right, let's get right into it. First up, we've got iPhones, the latest iPhone Pro and Pro Max models. Manufacturing issues may cause a shortage this fall. A hiccup can snowball into a global shortage. The global chip shortage affects many industries. Consider upgrading before holiday prices skyrocket. Just a thought. Next up, we're talking about something near snacks. Some of your favorite treats might be harder to come by soon. Lower agricultural production and global supply chain disruptions are to blame. Remember the great sriracha shortage of 2023? Stock up on your favorite snacks now, just in case. Gasoline prices are causing stress again. The U.S. may face more supply gaps soon. Factors include falling production and global events. Don't panic buy gasoline. Be mindful of fuel consumption. Carpool with a friend, bike or walk for short trips, or use public transportation. The planet needs us to change. Speaking of cars, did you know there's a shortage of car parts? It's not just new cars, even parts for repairs are hard to find. This is due to the chip shortage and supply chain issues, so don't wait to get your car fixed. Wait times could be longer than usual. For those of you planning any home renovations or construction projects, brace yourselves. Building supplies are still facing tight supplies, and this trend is likely to continue throughout the rest of the year. Lumber, steel, concrete, you name it, it's all been impacted by a perfect storm of supply chain disruptions, increased demand, and labor shortages. Reclaimed wood, anyone? Or maybe you can finally tackle that long-neglected upcycling project you've been putting off. Now let's talk about something a little more serious. Medication shortages. Specifically, amoxicillin, a commonly prescribed antibiotic, is facing a shortage, particularly the liquid form used for children. If your child needs amoxicillin, it's important to talk to your doctor about alternative treatment options or ways to manage the symptoms until the medication is available. Remember applesauce, that simple, wholesome snack we all enjoyed as kids or maybe still do? Well, it turns out even applesauce isn't immune to the forces of shortage-inducing chaos. Extreme weather events, particularly in key apple-growing regions, have had a disastrous impact on apple crops in recent years. This, coupled with, you guessed it, supply chain issues and increased demand, has led to a shortage of applesauce. Have you tried pear sauce? It's pretty delicious, too. Calling all Thanksgiving enthusiasts. This one might sting a little. Avian flu outbreaks have been wreaking havoc on poultry farms, leading to the deaths of millions of birds, including turkeys. This has put a strain on turkey supplies, and prices are expected to be higher than usual this Thanksgiving. Maybe consider a smaller bird or explore alternative main course options. Remember those days when everyone was clamoring for the latest gadgets and gizmos? Now, it seems the consumer electronics frenzy is cooling down. Retailers expect a decline in demand as people prioritize essential spending. Fewer flashy product launches and more discounts are expected. That old laptop still has a lot of life left in it. Maybe it's time to rediscover reading or face-to-face conversations. This one might come as a surprise to some of you, but even books, one of the most basic and beloved products, are experiencing a shortage. The reasons for this are complex, but they include paper shortages, supply chain disruptions, and labor shortages in the printing and publishing industries. This means that some books might be harder to find, and we might see longer wait times for new releases. There's something magical about holding a well-loved book in your hands, knowing that it's been enjoyed by countless readers before you. Calling all cookie monsters, this one's for you. It seems like even our favorite sweet treats aren't safe from the clutches of shortages. Production of cookies is being impacted by a perfect storm of ingredient shortages, including flour, sugar, eggs, butter, and chocolate chips. This means that some of your favorite cookie brands might be harder to find, Or we might see a rise in prices. There's something incredibly satisfying about creating something delicious from scratch, and it's a great way to bond with loved ones. Okay, let's talk about something that's essential to, well, pretty much everything: power. Unfortunately, the nation's power generation capacity remains compromised due to a combination of factors including aging infrastructure, extreme weather events, and supply chain disruptions. This means that we might see more rolling blackouts or power outages, especially during peak demand periods. It's a good reminder to be prepared for power outages by having a plan in place, such as having flashlights, batteries, and non-perishable food on hand. Every little bit helps. For all you fitness enthusiasts out there, this one's for you. Remember when everyone was scrambling to buy home gym equipment during the early days of, well, Well, it seems like those supply chain issues haven't completely gone away. There are still significant shortages of exercise gear, including dumbbells, resistance bands, and yoga mats. But hey, maybe this is a good opportunity to explore alternative forms of exercise, like bodyweight training, running outdoors, or trying out a new fitness class. Let's talk about something that's often considered taboo, but is a very real issue for many people: tampon shortages. Photos of empty feminine product shelves across the United States have gone viral in recent months, highlighting a very real shortage. The reasons for this shortage are complex, but they include supply chain disruptions, increased demand, and sadly, panic buying. If you're struggling to find tampons, reach out to local organizations that might be able to help, or consider alternative menstrual products like menstrual cups or reusable pads. This one's for all of us who live in areas where winter means more than just a light jacket. It's time to start thinking about winter supplies. And I'm not just talking about stocking up on hot chocolate, although that's never a bad idea. Due to a combination of factors, including supply chain disruptions, increased demand, and potential for extreme weather events, we might see shortages of essential winter supplies like snow shovels, ice melt, and winter clothing. Think warm blankets, flickering candles, and good books. Speaking of staying warm during the winter, there's another potential shortage looming that could put a damper on our cozy winter plans: propane. Propane is a popular fuel source for heating homes, especially in rural areas, and a shortage could have a significant impact on many households. If you rely on propane for heating, it's a good idea to check your supply levels and consider filling your tank early in the season. Every little bit helps. Medication shortages are a concerning trend. It's not just amoxicillin facing a shortage. Pfizer warns of penicillin supply shortfalls. Penicillin is vital for treating bacterial infections, and a shortage could have serious consequences. Talk to your doctor about alternatives. This one might hit close to home for some of you. Remember that comforting stack of pancakes on a lazy weekend morning? Well, it turns out that even our beloved breakfast staple might be at risk. The global shortage of wheat and flour, due to a combination of factors including drought, war, and supply chain disruptions, is impacting the availability and affordability of pancake and baking mixes. Have you ever tried making pancakes from scratch? It's surprisingly easy and incredibly satisfying. Dried fruit. It's a delicious and nutritious snack, a versatile baking ingredient facing a potential shortage. From raisins and cranberries to apricots and mangoes, dried fruit is a staple in many pantries, and a shortage could impact everything from our snacking habits to our holiday baking traditions. The reasons for the dried fruit shortage are complex, but they include drought conditions in key growing regions, labor shortages, and you guessed it, supply chain disruptions. Or if you're feeling adventurous, why not try drying your own fruit at home? It's a fun and rewarding project, and you'll have a delicious and healthy snack on hand whenever you need it. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about something that should be on everyone's list, especially during times of uncertainty: a well-stocked first aid kit. Whether it's a natural disaster, a medical emergency, or simply a minor mishap, having a first aid kit on hand can make all the difference. Check your existing kit for expired items and make sure you have essentials like bandages, antiseptic wipes, pain relievers, and any personal medications. Being prepared for the unexpected is never a bad idea. So there you have it, folks, 20 potential shortages that might make you want to stock up on non-perishable goods. But let's not give in to panic or fear. By being prepared and resourceful, we can navigate these times with resilience. Share your experiences in the comments below. Thanks for watching and stay curious.